And now, a new banger. New banger alert.
Oh,
Uh-oh. B. Hayes. B. Hayes. Cheers, man. Beers and bets. No warthog. No warthog today.
We're shorthanded tonight. Welcome to Beers and Bets. We're here for the Week 10 recap. Quick shout out to B. Hayes Music for the new intro song. We'll edit that in there.
Music with a Z, right?
Yeah, it's bhayesmusic.com. The music is spelled with a Z in place of the S.
Yeah.
And then all other platforms, you can check them out. B. Hayes Music, again, in music. The S is a Z. So check our dude B. Hayes out. Yep.
Our first sponsor, man.
Yep. Unofficial.
Yeah.
All right. So now I guess we talk football here. So we got to talk about yesterday. Not a good day for me. Not a good day for Brad. Well, not a good day for you. Yeah. Brad got his bad football week out of the way early.
Had to be there live.
Yeah. The Ravens lose on Thursday night football to Miami in Miami. Brad's at the game. He's apparently still traumatized. He wasn't able to make it back from vacation for the podcast.
Still in a coma.
Yeah. So
still blackout,
I'm sure he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's definitely
I'm sure the football game didn't ruin his vacation. He's doing all right.
He's fucking hammered right now, man.
He's probably at least, what do you say, 6-8 drinks ahead of us.
I think he said
he's also an hour ahead.
Yeah, you get like 15 a day. That's why I'm worried about waivers this week, because if he's still fucking awake, he might be up to pick up all the fucking free agents, man. But Cam Newton's back, dude. That was that was something, I guess.
Cam Newton, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. First one was a rushing touchdown where he rips off of his helmet and does the "I'm back."
Dude, when he was yelling that, the first thing I was thinking was, "Yeah, you are back," because you just took a 15-yard penalty. Like, the selfishness is back. We see it already. I'm sure
he should celebrate like that after he fails to recover a fumble.
Yeah,
and then after the defense recovers a fumble right in front of him, he removes his helmet and says, "I'm back."
Or maybe be that fucking proud to talk to people when you lose a Super Bowl and not bitch out after 2 minutes in a fucking interview like he did, and actually stand and talk to the people when it's not going that great, because, in a few weeks, things aren't going to be going that great. That was a beaten up Cardinal team, dude. You're not doing anything. And all you're doing is firing up a Cardinal team that I don't know if they need motivation. They're almost winning. They've won games without their guys.
Yeah. Every team has had a letdown. The Cardinals at least had a good excuse for it yesterday. Yeah. No Kyler, no DeAndre Hopkins.
And they won last week with fucking
they won with their B team last week.
Yeah, with McCoy, dude. Colt McCoy, man.
But
you see, did you see McCoy's throw yesterday? He was rolling out, dude.
When he was rolling
across his body, dude,
and tried to,
just
he's rolling out right and threw it way across.
Across the field from left to right to left. Yeah, man.
He had another one where he was rolling left and tried to throw left, kind of as he was
turning his shoulders,
rolling that way, and missed by a mile as well.
Yeah, the announcers were like, "Man, he's been in the league long enough to know that throw is not gonna make it. It might have been Hansen on fucking red zone, but that was bad, dude."
Colt McCoy's good for like 1 win every 3 years as a backup. And then once he gets that win out of the way, it goes to shit.
Once they get that film on him, see ya.
I don't even think it's that. I think he just gets lucky. Coming out. Maybe he's got extra adrenaline. Who knows?
He's had a damn good career for a dude that really hadn't had much talent. Like,
he's lasted a long time for kind of like a first round bust.
Yeah, like a weird, right.
He stuck around.
Yeah.
So you got to get the one of our other teams out of the way. My Buccaneers get beat from start to finish against the Washington football team.
Beat down, man.
Brady throws a couple early interceptions. The first of the 2 wasn't his fault. The receiver had it in his hands and got hit. Ball flew up in the air. Easy pick. Second one was a bad throw. I really couldn't give you an explanation for the second one. Mike Evans was running a route about 20 yards across the middle. And and Brady threw it about 5 yards short of where Mike Evans was at. So I don't know.
Washington got that they were going left on the screen. They picked it off. Were they running it left or were they turning it to the right? I'm trying to remember this play. The second interception.
The second one.
About. Yeah.
I mean, the Bucks would be going the Bucks had the ball on offense going left to right on your screen.
Right. Okay. So yeah. I do remember.
Football team picks it off about midfield, maybe about the 45
right on. That's
yard
the
line.
one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
That was a bad throw. And I mean, the big thing was like Heineke kind of just kept pulling shit out of his ass, dude. And, I dive into the numbers today. Washington is 11 of 19 on third down. And these include like a bunch of series where the Washington football team took a sack on first down. So you're at like 2nd and 16, and they just kept finding ways to get these first downs, even when they were behind the sticks. It was crazy. He just kept pulling them out of his ass, man. I mean, Terry
McLaurin had some really big catches. He just kept standing to find McLaurin when he needed to on those third downs, and it would be like a 3rd and 9, and you're like, this is when Washington fucks up. This is when they blow it, and then they would hit it for another first down. And what I saw at the end, just they couldn't stop the run towards the end. Gibson started just gashing them, and it was like, or maybe you have numbers that are different, but visually it was like
Gibson. It was probably the most success a team has had running the ball against Tampa all year. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't know how many yards Gibson had, but he had a handful of 12, 14-yard runs.
Chunk plays,
because
they probably had
usually happen to the Bucs
coming off the playoff game too, man. They competed with them kind of like they did yesterday back in January. So they knew they could play with, it's those weird matchups sometimes that even though a team's not great, it's like the Rams, when they were in St. Louis, would play the Seahawks real tight, but the Seahawks would kick everyone's ass, and you'd be like, why? But sometimes those weird matchups, and it's not even a division one. So I don't know there. Not sure if Rivera just has something on Bray. I mean, I don't know how he would have that, but it was just,
I thought going in that the Bucs knew not to take them lightly because the same team challenged them in the playoffs last year. So don't take them lightly. The Bucs are coming off a bye. I felt really confident going into the game that the Bucs would come out and win convincingly. And, halfway through the first quarter, I had a completely different feeling.
Just like, oh shit, this is looking like, that's how I would have felt too. Like the Steelers, if I would have taken them in that's like one of those survivor pools yesterday, it was like, you see those games starting up and you're like, oh, no, we're not. Why?
Yeah.
Now, that's an easy transition if you want to do that because
hold on.
Done, okay.
Well, one more thing. Let me just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
This is what it was yesterday. Is
your team, man.
Washington football team finishes off with a 19-play, 80-yard touchdown drive that takes up 10 minutes and 30 seconds. That's at the end of the fourth quarter. The Bucs get the ball back down by 8. With they ended up going down by 10.
Yeah.
But they get the ball with 40 seconds left. Washington burned the last 10 and a half minutes of the game. That's just crazy drive, man.
That's where I saw. That's where I brought up running the ball because I think it was just that drive made it like seem like they were just gashing them.
Yep.
Anytime they needed
third down throws on that drive too, though.
Anytime they needed it, he was Heineke was Battlehawks guy, man. He was here. But anytime it looked like they needed it on that drive, I was shocked, man. Because once the Bucs started coming back, it was like, all right, like here we go, and that never really happened.
Yeah, I mean, when Brady's on your team, you always have faith that there's a chance of pulling it off late. Man, if we get the ball back one more time, who knows? But it didn't work out. So you talk about your Broncos. What did you see?
Oh yeah, that's what we talked about starting, early in the game when you're like, oh shit, this is fucked. And I mean, we get down 10-0 to fucking Philly, dude. It's just we don't got to talk about this one long because it was just so bad, man. We actually showed some fight when we were down. We came back, battled back. I think we were at 10-7, and then they might have scored 14-10 or 14-7, something shit like that. I don't know. They went back up by not a big, maybe 17-10. And then they had that fucking play where
the fumble.
Man.
That turned into a punt return play.
Yeah, and it was awesome, dude. That was like, because if you're a playmaker and you get the ball like that, it was like Deshaun Jackson against the Giants that year. You get it and you see everyone's a little discombobulated. It's perfect for you because you're like, oh hell yeah,
because the ball even kicked out to
right and
the
gave
perimeter.
him. Yeah, and got him outside to kind of set the inside and then go back and then Bridgewater not trying, dude. I mean, I've loved, Teddy Two Gloves, whatever, but
it was a rough look.
It was just a terrible afternoon as a Broncos fan. It was like, man, this is what we are, and it sucks. But we get down and we don't have the ability to fight back, and it's sad that that's the case because we weren't playing the fucking Chiefs. We were playing the Philadelphia fucking Eagles at home, man. At Mile High, like not.
I will say try to stay optimistic still because there's so much of like a middle ground of the AFC. There's so many teams that are still in it that it's almost better that you lose this game to an NFC opponent in the Eagles and shit the bed in that one, because when it comes down to all the wild card tiebreakers and whatnot, it'll goes by either division record, head-to-head record, and then conference record is another one of those tiebreakers.
Okay. So then that's true.
Try to stay a little bit optimistic.
Yeah, but
they did not come out to play yesterday. I had them on a couple different bets, and early on I was like, gosh, I was so confident with the Eagles coming to Denver that they were going to be the better team yesterday. And I
was afraid, dude. Like
early, and they're a team that can't play from behind.
No, they don't do that.
That's really what it comes down
I will say that Devontae Smith is starting to look like a real good fucking player, man. He had a couple catches, and I know we had good defense on the ball. Surtain played it fine. Surtain, whatever. I know I'm a fan, and people say it different even on their podcast. So right, it's but yeah, PS2, man. He had he played it good. Devontae just outplayed him, and it's ironic because I think those two guys both went to Bammer.
They practiced against each other.
Yeah, so every day they probably after the game had to have exchanged jerseys or something like that. Because I mean it was a good. I mean, that was the only cool part was seeing that kind of one-on-one battle going on. Because outside of that, we looked like shit.
Okay, that gets all of our Sunday heartbreaks out of the way. Let's get into like some Monday headlines. Let's get a little bit optimistic about it.
Yeah.
So you take it away. You're going to talk Packers here, right?
Yeah, man. Packers defense, dude, and defense wins championships. It's crazy, man.
This year, yeah,
they playing great this year, man. They're at the numbers here, they're third overall defense. But if you look at yards a game and you go through some of those, it's right in there. I mean, 200 to like 173, 190. That's Carolina and Bills, who are ranked a little higher. Now, if you look at who each team's played and stuff, yards a game can be a little telling. But just the way that, I mean, shutting down Russ Wilson yesterday, shutting down the teams they have, and winning games that the Packers normally don't win. Like, we don't see them winning 17-0 in the snow, handing it off on the goal line for, a bunch of times, which thanks a lot, Aaron Rodgers, you fucking dickhead. So that was cool, man. But yeah, dude,
he's not on your fantasy team.
I'm going to discount doubles check his ass onto waivers, man, because he can get fucked, man. But yeah, I mean, they just look like a good defense. Like they're not giving up a lot. And again, against the Seahawks, I think that was a big game, and they're winning. I mean, what's their record up to now? They're 8-2.
I believe they're 8-2.
I think they're
they got to be the one seed right now in the NFC.
They got to be the one seed, definitely. Like, I don't know if they're the favorite in the NFC, but they should be right up there because I think they're just playing really good. And dude, they've had to battle through some bullshit. They didn't have Aaron Rodgers. They almost won that game. The defense held Kansas City on the road at Arrowhead down. So I think that they're proven, I think, to themselves that like we talked about way months ago on here, like, they're kind of like, yo, we got Aaron Rodgers. Let's not waste this year as a defense because he might not be here next year. And if we have that Love guy, it's gonna be it could be a long fucking year. So let's take advantage of it and go out and win.
As a Bucs fan, I've been scared of the Packers since before the season started because I know we got them last year in Lambeau, but if we get them again in the playoffs, man, I will not go into that game being like, oh, we can get them again. I'll be pretty worried about it.
It'll be tough. Yeah. That'll be, especially if it's up there in Lambeau again with fans and shit, man. But
snow game. That'd be an awesome snow game, though. Dude.
It was great too. Talking about that game.
Yeah.
That was awesome seeing snow finally in an NFL game at Lambeau with all the fans back there and all that shit. That was really cool to see. The fans are literally just like cheering for the fucking snow. When it started coming down, they were just like cheering for it. It was really, really fucking cool, man. It's like, what the fuck? These people, these people from Africa or some shit. Like, what the fuck? But and dude, the Seahawks looked like shit, huh? That was kind of surprising.
The Seahawks did look like shit, and Russell Wilson, even though he's been rehabbing like 16 or whatever hours a day, comes out, goes 20 for 40 passing, only 160 yards,
couple of picks, right?
2 interceptions, no touchdowns. And the throws were bad. Like he wasn't ready to be throwing the ball again.
And I don't know how the wind bad there?
I don't like Russ anymore. I don't care, man. I don't care if the wind is bad.
Done on him.
I just like
high snap, low snap, late snap.
His whole like vibe. I can't root for that guy anymore. Yeah, it's the douchiness.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought that.
It's like him going out. He's injured. He's on IR, whatever. And you see him out on Sunday Night Football doing the pregame warm-ups.
You were
no
talking
football
about
in his hand, like looking around,
like, fucking down, like putting his down on one knee, like down on one knee, dude.
Even
like,
doing the no huddle offense.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
fucking
like,
alert, dude.
What are you trying to prove, man?
And like on the sideline too, he's like the best cheerleader. And like again, Carson Wentz did that, and people loved him for it. Like when he won with the Eagles, he was pulling that when he was like when he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was on the sideline
doing no,
but it's not. No, not that. No. That's pretty fucking great. I didn't believe you guys when I looked it up. I was like, dude. I mean, I was like, wouldn't mind the Broncos trying to get him next year, but like, that shit was pretty douche chilly, man. Because he's not
a likable guy. Like he's a nice guy. He says all the right things, but
he almost does it.
It's like to his own fault because it's so damn like ungenuine or like
just
like so like robotic and bullshit that just give me something refreshing. I'd rather have somebody like Cam Newton than a Russell Wilson. That's just like
at least he's going to give you a good interview. Russell Wilson's going to say everything that like Bill Belichick would love for you to say if you were the fucking quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
Like go Hawks, or go Pats at the end, like all that shit.
At least Belichick doesn't try to fake any sort of enthusiasm. He just is like, I really just don't want to talk to you guys about anything.
I don't think I'm saying just as like a quarterback up there, Belichick would love the way Russ talks about the game. Any like douchey coach that like really just doesn't want to hear their quarterback or really their offense loves a guy like that. It's just all about like, I mean, we got to play better. I got to be better. Teams, just like that whole like
going off on a tangent,
self-deprecating and
a tangent. And like, I'll go cross sport here, but LeBron comes off kind of the same way to me in interviews. Like it just doesn't seem like genuine, or it all seems like
LeBron will at least say more outspoken shit. Russ Wilson's pretty conservative.
LeBron's not quite as bad, but it's the same type of thing where like like he's got no personality to him, really.
Yeah.
You just I feel like I never liked LeBron.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you're not a fan.
I know that was a quick tangent. I don't want to get off on another sport.
Yeah, well, no, I just brought that up because Russ, they looked really, I was surprised how bad they looked. Yep. I started Tyler Lockett in a standard league over Darrell Williams.
And Williams went off last night.
So that was a fun night. That was cool.
Yikes.
At least he's on a team that I love, so that helped.
It could be worse, dude, because I had a coworker complaining today because we had a $10 bet on our fantasy matchup, just a side bet, head to head.
Yeah.
He's my coworker, has the office right down the hall. And he's like, man, I had AJ Dillon in. And I had him starting. I had him and Aaron Jones starting on my team. And then last minute, I picked up Russell Gage, the Falcons receiver. Russell Gage had 0 catches.
Oh, that was like Lockett yesterday.
Donut, dude. And AJ Dillon had like 28 points.
Yeah, he had a huge game.
The matchup.
Yeah, mine wouldn't have swung it, but I needed the points anyway.
Yeah.
Man. I had a bad
game. In our league, the points are important. I know what you're saying. But looking at the standings here, Seattle is now at the bottom of the NFC West at 3-6. That's going to be a tough hole to climb out of, man. I said it before the year. I don't think they make the playoffs. I just don't think they have that great of a team, especially on defense. And their defense has actually been better than the offense this year, surprisingly. But
their defense hasn't like They haven't been as shitty as at least they were last year. They haven't. If they like won them games, I don't know, but they haven't. They haven't lost them as much. The offense just hasn't been there. They don't have fucking running game, dude. They go into every damn season trying to think that they have Chris Carson is gonna somehow
Chris
be
Carson's
healthy,
the lead back, and
he's
never
gonna be healthy. And they don't invest in a new guy. He's great when he's fucking healthy. I love like when he's healthy, he's a great back. But it's like, dude, if he's not healthy, and behind that O-line, I mean, I don't know, man. You're right. They probably have the most holes, and that's somewhere I think I was wrong. I just with Russell Wilson, you trust that team, but going forward, they're definitely gonna have a tough road.
Okay, so my Monday headline to try to lighten the mood here: the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
they tie a game.
Finally, baby.
I'm not satisfied with a tie though.
My boy Dan Campbell,
Dan Campbell is fucking awesome.
Oh, he's my hero.
Jared Goff throws for 114 yards in 5 quarters. That seems really difficult to do, to throw for 114 yards,
dude.
4 quarters, and then a full overtime.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I don't know how, dude. And that had trap game written all over it too.
Mm-hmm.
And
I bet the Lions yesterday.
Yeah. It's just like, how do you win a fucking game in Pittsburgh on the road when you only throw for how many fucking 114 yards in 5 quarters, like full quarters, dude?
Yes.
I mean, the weather was shitty, and that was,
it did get real shitty until late, though, dude. It wasn't really raining hard until overtime, and even then, like those numbers just suck,
dude.
And here's the kicker, though. Yeah, the kicker is what I'm going to next, because the Steelers turned it over twice in overtime.
Yeah,
the first turnover they had, the kicker gets like, I want to say it was like a 38, maybe a 40-yarder. He missed it wide by a mile, and it was way short. I don't know.
It never got higher.
Kick that bad.
It never got higher than the crossbar.
It's one of the worst kicks I've seen in the NFL.
In my life, really, dude. I swear to God, I was watching that with Pops, and I was like, he's like, they ain't going to blow it, are they? And I was like, oh, hold on. And he was like, and I was like, I don't. Was that like that got blocked, right? I was like, dude, did it get blocked? And it was like, no, it didn't. Like you know, they're saying it didn't get blocked. I was like, that was the worst kick I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. It was like
usually you miss wide or short. Usually you miss wide in the NFL.
Yeah,
but to miss that far wide and also come up that far short, it just
was
seemed
it ever higher than the fucking.
I don't know if it ever did get above the. We need advanced stats.
I'm telling you,
those trajectory like we have in the PS4 golf game.
Yeah,
give us the trajectory of the shot. That's what that kicker needs. He needs the airline that we always turn off.
That dude from that dude with the spiked up fucking hair. Hey guys, all right, we're gonna see what Calvin Johnson did. You remember him on like Sports Center? The sports science fucking, oh god, that fucking guy, man. But that kick. It was so bad, dude.
Dan Campbell would have had a better chance making that kick. Just with pure heart, man. He could have went out there and been like, "We're winning this game. I'm gonna mash a toe ball right through the fucking uprights."
He had his towel around his neck the whole game, dude. Like sweat. I'm not losing today. Oh man. Yeah.
Poor Dan Campbell.
I know,
it's like,
man.
Here's the other thing. Detroit always plays on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They got to get a win before Thanksgiving. You got to at least have one win going into the holiday weekend. It doesn't look like they're going to get it because their next game is against the Browns, which there's a chance I could see it against the Browns.
Yeah, that could be competitive.
Staying close. But if they don't get that one, I mean, if you're a Detroit Lions player and you go home to see your like extended family for Thanksgiving, and they're like,
who do they play?
You play for the Lions. They're
Tampa,
not on Thanksgiving. They don't. Have
okay.
I don't know who they have, but if you're a player and you're around your family on Thanksgiving, you either eat dinner the day before or after. If you have a game on the holidays, but they're like a distant family member that doesn't really follow football that well is like, we play for the Detroit Lions. How are you guys doing this year?
Yeah, dickhead.
Fucking 9-1.
Yeah, well, have you watched? Yeah, we've lost like every game.
That sucks so bad for everybody on that roster.
And like every game is lost.
Like, how can Dan Campbell be happy on Thanksgiving?
Sitting that
That's
down.
not fair for
we're
such
getting better. Just cutting up
We're
the
close.
fucking turkey. We're getting closer. Pass the fucking peas, dude. Yeah, that would because like the assholes that don't pay attention, like in that movie Moneyball, when he's like, "Yeah, I saw you guys lost the Giambani and Damon." He's like, and the wife's even like Giambi, yeah. It's like it's his
Giambi.
wife's. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that wimpy deer. But yeah, he goes
wimpy deer.
He's like, yeah, that Giambani and Damon and and it's like one of those where like you have to meet the relatives or the people in your family that don't know shit about it. And they're like, yeah, well, you guys got a tie. I mean, that's better than losing.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, actually, kind of is worse than losing.
Yeah, I'd rather,
circumstances.
Like my fucking coach and baseball coach would always say, like, losing's like kissing your sister. And it's like, yeah. I don't know, really get that analogy. But
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I would have loved to have been like, I don't know how many hardcore like Detroit Lions fan like bars, like football bars there is.
Yeah.
Where everybody, all these Lions fans gather.
I'm sure there's a good amount.
But I would have loved to have been in the corner just to spectate that whole overtime and just
they were probably
seeing the people like holding their hats. But like, but the way it played out, like there were so many plays where like, oh, we got a chance. And then
we could win. Now we're literally just gonna tie. Like, like all the idiots too are like, I didn't know you could even tie. And you're like, oh yeah, no, you can't.
Najee Harris didn't know you could tie either.
Yeah, did he really? Yeah, there's always that one guy.
McNabb did it.
McNabb is always the
proved that McNabb probably wasn't like a high IQ quarterback, but McNabb after an overtime tie brings up how
with the Redskins,
he wasn't aware there could be a tie in a football game
and a national football.
Not how it worked in college. That's not how it worked in Pop Warner. And then McNabb goes on to say, I would hate to see it happen in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl. It's like,
oh man,
McNabb, think this one through, man. Obviously, if it's the playoffs or the Super Bowl, we're gonna figure something out.
Y'all just restart. Y'all just restart. We're just gonna restart. We're all 0-0. Yeah, I didn't know that was in the quote.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad quote.
Because I remember when that happened, I was like, I know there's a tie, dude. Like, I'm not an NFL quarterback. Like, if you know the game, I feel like if you're the quarterback, you should probably know the rules, man. I don't know.
Another thing, enough talk on the Lions. Let's move on. Another thing I just have noted from yesterday, the Patriots are starting to look pretty scary, man.
Told you.
That defense is good. They can run the ball. They probably have less weaknesses than like
a lot of
team I can think of, really. Like they're high end, their ceiling isn't very high in any part of the game, but they don't have a weakness,
No,
so in every game, maybe they have a few where they shit the bed, but they're going to be close in every game. I'm convinced that they're going to make the playoffs now. And then I wouldn't want to, if I'm, say you're who's a division winner in the AFC, like one of the high end ones. If you're the Bills,
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 I was gonna say Buffalo
played you twice, and then New England's the first team you play.
You gotta play them.
That is dangerous, man.
Nobody in Buffalo would want to fucking see that. Them come in.
I could say Belichick could come up with a game plan
for the Ravens,
fight the Ravens, but I wanted to save it until Brad was back. But there's an outside chance that the Ravens just kind of stop kind of pulling these games out of their asses and the Ravens miss the playoffs altogether. I could see them sliding just because all these games they've won have been, they win on an overtime field goal against the Lions. They win they're down 10 to the Chiefs in the fourth quarter, miraculous comeback. They win. What if those type of games start going the other way where they lose them late instead of win them late?
Yeah, no, and that's fair. I just think that's how they do win games. I think that's what they do. Russell Wilson was a lot like that in his career, and now that is happening to him.
Yeah.
But he would always come back at the end of games. You remember those days.
That's right. That's
fourth quarter, and it might stop, but for the time being, you got to be a little afraid of a team that shows that ability to do that. Now, if you're telling me in a fourth quarter a team's down by 10 and you're going to give me like the Chiefs or the Ravens, I'd probably still take the Chiefs. I hate them, but like if you're gonna give me a team that could come back, and that's just because I think of the weapons that I don't know, dude. Lamar is fucking. He
does
it's
so much on Lamar though. Like everything has to be Lamar. Like he can do it, but it's so like the degree of difficulty is so damn high, and their defense just isn't that good this year. Which like,
that's what's weird.
You always like think of when you think of the Ravens. Like, oh, our defense is pretty good. They're actually not good this year.
No, they're not at all. They give up. They get gashed on the ground. Cleveland Cincinnati ran through them, right?
They did.
Cincinnati
beat them pretty good. Yeah.
And they ran what's his fucking name?
Mixon
on the same running play. We were watching on Red Zone, and Brad, he pointed it out. He's like, they just did the same run like a 30-yard run, like a 40-yard run, and then like the next drive, a touchdown from like the 50-yard line. And it was like the same cut back, like just one of those where you're going at the line like that, and then you veer it. So like a cut back route,
old HB belly and Madden,
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
You got the little wiggle
veer, exactly. Though, yeah, man. I'm not a coach, so, but yeah, that little, you let the line start shifting, and then you put that leg in the ground, put the foot in the ground, start talking maybe your fit, but yeah, and they hit it 3 plays in a row, the whole part of like the C's, and they have a tough time stopping the run. So a team like that,
if your defense isn't good and your running backs are Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman,
and
so really the way the Ravens are this year, it comes down to the Ravens being able to throw the ball or Lamar being able to run the ball. And when it's like, I feel like they're going to be easy to stop going down the stretch. I really am. I'm worried about the Ravens. I could see them going on a slide.
Yeah, I remember Brad had a note on one of our shows last week that it was like the stat for what fucking Hollywood Brown's numbers are this year in terms of like, it was like
it's gotta be like double what his average is.
Well, it's like number 6 receiving yardage though. So and again, if you have that combo of like, again, he's not Tyreek Hill, but he is fast as shit, and if he can start being like a secure catching shit downfield too, and then you have Mark Andrews, that is the formula for a good, like, but I don't think it's as good as what the
Hollywood Brown has been good. Mark Andrews is, a top 3 tight end, in my opinion. And then Rashad Bateman, that rookie, does look very good as well.
On the defense.
Like I said, it's almost like, what are defenses going to be scared about? They're not scared of Devontae Freeman or Le'Veon Bell. No. So, like, it comes down to, it's just so much pressure on Lamar to pull these games out of his ass and couple that with a bad defense.
It looks like the formula for what we've seen with the Ravens in the playoffs in years past with Lamar.
Well, even then they could run the ball back in those days.
But I'm saying just that's you're bringing up what's been the fucking problem for them, because they get to the playoffs and everyone knows what you're saying. And they're like, let's make it all on Lamar. Let's make him beat us today. And he never has good play. He hasn't had a good playoff game yet, has he? I mean, he's played like shit in the playoffs.
I feel like they won. Yeah, we've brought this up, and I actually want to. I feel like they did win one playoff game.
I think they might have won a game last year or like 2 years ago. Like, yeah, I think in the last.
Like, I know he is 0-2, man.
Okay, yeah.
I remember the first really bad one against the Chargers,
and then he lost to the Chiefs, right?
Oh, is that what it was? They started against the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, that was it. And he played like he did not play good. I think he had a couple big runs, but he might have like fumbled and that shit. Yeah. That was at Arrowhead, right?
See, okay, now I'm going to a different one. Lamar Jackson is 1-3 in the playoffs in his career. Because 0-2 seemed he's been in the league.
I thought he had a win, but I do remember him losing too. I know that.
Yeah, I remember the first one. It was against the Chargers, and the Chargers.
That was at home, right? That was in Baltimore.
I believe it was. No, I think it was in San Diego or LA, because LA beat the Chiefs to win the division that year. But anyways, moving on. We're dragging this out way too long.
You're good. Yeah. It was a good day. And I also wanted to say yesterday, Mahomes, came back strong, and Justin Jefferson had a monster day. I think he had a coming out party to the NFL. He had some huge catches for Minnesota.
That's actually my big regret for, I've talked about it briefly here, collecting the football cards. My biggest regret is like not investing in Justin Jefferson, because it's so tough to like invest in a receiver, because they need to be like, like top 5 receivers to be worth a damn. Right. But he actually does look the type.
Yeah,
Actually looks like he'll be a top 5 receiver.
Like next year,
10
man.
years.
Yeah, dude. He's really fucking good.
So,
and he goes up and makes those catches. That's the difference, too. You get those guys that aren't afraid to go up and make a big third down catch on like 3rd and 10 and go up for it and not be a bitch. And
just winning 50-50 balls.
Yeah, that's huge.
And he wins them. He almost wins them all, it seems like.
Some of the talent that's come out of the SEC and Bama in just the last few years alone is fucking incredible. Yeah. Derrick Henry doing what he's doing. And
you bring up Justin Jefferson. The note I had for the Vikings here is like whether I bet for the Vikings or against the Vikings, I lose both of them, man. When I bet the Vikings, Kirk Cousins sucks. When I bet against the Vikings, Kirk Cousins enough plays off. Like it's so fucking hard to figure out, man. I don't understand.
That was a toss-up game yesterday going, man. I was like, shit, this is like the definition of who is like gonna try to find a way to lose today.
The Chargers have burned me a few times this year because it's a team I've liked. You know, they're kind of my side team other than the Bucs.
They have been, yeah.
And I like them. So I got to separate the teams I like from the betting because even the Bucs have cost me multiple bets this year. Bet on the Bucs, and I usually don't, but I feel like the two weekends I've bet on the Bucs have been L's this year.
Lost.
It was the first one was against the Rams. I stayed away from the Saints game because of Jameis, and then I go back to him today against the football team, and they lose.
Yep, that's what it is, though. Maybe that's what they need. I said that a few weeks ago to you on here, but maybe getting grounded and pounded like that, the defense, it's a good smack in the face to be like, all right.
Probably good for them as far as knowing how much better they got to get. They can't just coast the rest of the season.
Exactly.
Does
it scare you to go into, for instance, though, to go into like LA for a play? Like you wouldn't be.
The one that would scare me is Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's the one place I wouldn't want to go on the road to.
Yeah.
Because Jerry World, I almost feel like the Cowboys would be more likely to lose.
Yeah.
The playoffs at home.
Yeah, they don't. I'm not. They looked real good yesterday, though. They bounced back too, man. That was one. I haven't taken them yet in that survivor pool. I still have them, but they're at Arrowhead next Sunday, man. I'm like,
stay away next week.
Of all the weeks.
Who else do you got left? Let's talk about that.
Shit. Hold on. I'll have to pull it up. So
no rush. I'll kind of improvise, kill some time here. So,
but that Dak. While I'm looking, Dak did look good. I mean, they came out and were balling. They were. Oh, you're looking at the picks. I thought I saw you smiling. I thought you were
I did notice I skipped over the Week 10 picks recap.
All right, so here,
you got it?
Yeah, I have it pulled up. I'd rather talk about this.
Okay, go for it. We'll save the picks recap for later.
Yeah, fucking asshole. So far, I took the Niners, the Browns, the Cardinals.
I want to know what teams you have left to pick.
Okay, all right. Well,
because that's got to be less than the teams you've.
All right, so like this week, because I don't know if I can look. All right, so this week I have I could do. Hold on, this is the last one. All right, yeah, maybe go to the damn picks, man. Hold on. No, I got him right here.
Jimmy was 1-6.
Yeah, last week. So fuck y'all.
Last week.
You know what? The spread's fucked. I could do Atlanta, Indy, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, Tennessee, Minnesota, Miami, New York, New Orleans, Philly, Washington, Carolina, Jacksonville, Vegas, KC, Dallas, Seattle, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, the Chargers, Los Angeles, or Pittsburgh, and then the Giants. So I have some teams there left.
There were some good teams left. I would stay away from the Chiefs and the Cowboys next week because that's
tough too. Because the Colts got the Bills next week, so it's like I can't. That ain't gonna fly. You know, Titans got the Texans. That might be the one.
That's your pick. That's your one.
That's probably the pick.
That's your pick.
That has to be.
Yep. And most teams have probably used the Titans.
Yeah, I'd have to
probably use them against the Texans the first time they played, or or
the
Jags, whoever. Yeah. So
and there's only like 5 people left in that shit. Out of the whole deal.
I think Titans are a solid pick. So, we kind of went through yesterday up until now. I say we take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll do the Super Bowl winners draft. We're going to go back and forth taking Super Bowl winners and seeing, how things shake out.
Right on.
Where we got each Super Bowl contender ranked. And then we'll do Monday Night Football player props. We got 49ers and Rams. Divisional matchup. The Niners will probably blow them out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I've seen so much crazy shit the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true, man. Have you, are you, yeah, so you are off the Niners, though?
I am off the Niners train.
Okay.
I did proper research on Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, on the podcast.
Turns out he's about as good of a coach in the NFL as Chip Kelly was.
Yeah, right.
That's all I needed to know. Once I saw
that
them
number
sandwiched next together in the history of coaches' winning percentage, I was like, he's right below Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's not great.
Good at all.
Didn't he coach there too, Chip Kelly? Did he coach there after he got fired from?
He probably did coach for the 49ers for like 2 years. That sounds
right.
Yeah,
after
he started in Philly, and then he had one really good year with Philly, and then 2 shit years, and then I think the Niners gave him a shot.
Maybe after Harbaugh. Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
That sounds right, like the right time frame. Harbaugh, and then Chip Kelly, and then old Shanahan came to town.
Bunch of winners, man. I mean, that is coordinator face there. We got a shout out from one of our following podcasts out here. God, I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Fast something sports, and they are listeners of this Beers and Bets, and they were talking. They liked coordinator face.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that is what
Fangio is at the top of my list.
Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels has coordinator face, dude. And Shanahan is right there.
Doug Peterson. I thought Doug Peterson had coordinator face with the visor until he won a Super Bowl, and it kind of dismissed that whole theory.
Yep. Vance Joseph,
another good one. Vance Joseph
has coordinator face. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got a kick out of that, man. I was like, it's when you just don't look.
You're not built for the fucking job,
you can
man.
See it just in the face, man. Yeah. You don't have that, and it's a bad.
Brings up the question. I'm going into this management role. Do I have coordinator face?
I think you'll be all right, man.
Run the show.
You just got to go in there with the attitude and don't say the shit, but just that Gruden attitude, and just go in there and let them know that I've
said enough John Gruden quotes in that building.
They
must already know.
You ever see a big, beautiful mansion somewhere? You should tell them that one.
No foundation, man.
Yeah, man.
Got to pay the bills, pay the rent.
Got to lay bricks down every day.
Yeah, every day you build.
That's what we're doing here, man.
We're
dude. Going to work like that as the manager and see how much they like you then, dude. That might lose. Yeah,
that would need to be like me and all the blue collar guys. Like in a little, like I take them out to lunch at a pizza shop, and we get the back. We rent out the back room in some hole in the wall pizza shop, and I give them that speech. That's a speech you don't do in front of like the ownership and those types of guys, because
it's a speech that Michael Scott would give to the people in the fucking and where Daryl worked in the shipping warehouse on The Office. Yeah, that Michael Scott would go down there. Yeah. That would have been a great bit if he was dressed like Gruden and went down there doing that, man. But yeah, I think that's a good spot to wrap this one up, come back and figure out the Monday night deal.
We'll end part 1 there. We'll be back. We'll do a little Super Bowl winner snake draft, and then we'll preview some Monday Night Football. All right.
Player properties sounds good, buddy. Cheers.
BRB.